Imagine this. The whole world is ruined. Cities are destroyed. Mountains have crumbled. There is no electricity, no water, no heat from gas pipes. Grocery stores are out of the question. Mothers leaving their children behind because of how scary it is. Close friends betraying each other. It's kill or be killed. This, my fellow men, is what the end times would manifest into. A complete destruction of the world we live and the corruption of human souls. If you are fortunate enough to be able to have access to platforms like YouTube to watch this video, then you have it much easier than many other people in the world. That can be a good thing and a bad thing. It's usually people like this that would be obliterated in an instant when things get really bad, because you are too dependent on certain things for your survival and are not, to a certain degree, self-sufficient. Look, I myself don't believe that I am ready for an apocalypse yet. However, every day I'm doing something to put myself in the right direction. Why though, you ask? What's the point of doing all this? Well, it's simple. I'm not here to shame anyone that uses electricity. That would be quite hypocritical of me, and that's not the point here anyway. The point is to train ourselves now, so we are always battle ready, and more importantly, we are able to instill the qualities in the next generation so that they are prepared. We live in times where wars can break out at any moment. Tensions have never been higher between countries. People are losing their morals every day. Technology has made it easier to brainwash the youth to act a certain way. Emotionally immature and satanic people are gaining more control of the affairs of this world. Most of you will probably ignore this message and not take it too seriously. But for the ones who know the importance of this, get ready. And ask yourself these questions to see if you have met this standard of being apocalypse-proof. Do you know how to hunt? I don't want to lie to you guys. This is something I am also lacking in, but is a crucial skill if you want the highest chance of survival. When the world goes to crap, you need the ability to hunt down animals and get the most nutrient-dense food source possible. Most of us get our meat at the butcher or go to a grocery store, and there's nothing wrong with that. But we almost forget how that meat got there in the first place. Or even better, how our ancestors got their meat in the first place. Being able to kill animals like deer and knowing how to cut the meat properly, and also knowing what to avoid, will be a huge factor of how long you will live in tough times. There is also a satisfying masculine element of being able to take down your prey and eat from the fruits of your labor. You don't need to become an expert hunter, but at least know how to hunt on a basic level so that you are able to get by. The reality is this: when times become dangerous, you will not have the luxury of waiting months and years for fruit and vegetables to grow, because you will always be on the move. The evil forces and their soldiers will be on the move, so you will have to be as well. If you have enemies chasing you down, you don't want the reason for your capture to be a lack of energy because you haven't eaten any meat in a long time. Which goes into the next question. Do I have extraordinary endurance? You can have the most nutritious food possible, but if you have no gas tank, then you will die very quickly. In an apocalypse, cardio beats strength 99% of the time. Strength is important, but being able to endure high-intensity movements for long periods of time is way more important. This isn't la la cartoon land. During these times, you will do way more running than fighting, and if you do fight, you should be fighting with weapons, since everyone else will be. This is something that the modern man lacks for sure. We idolize the men that are able to deadlift 600 pounds, but laugh at the person who is average in his build but has amazing cardio. That bodybuilder or strongman will not last long when things go south in the world. Let's just call it out for what it is. The greatest soldiers that have ever lived were not large men by any means. Look at Khalid ibn al-Walid, Alexander the Great, Salahuddin, Hannibal. Their physical attributes were nothing to go crazy about, but they had gas tanks that would probably be far greater than the Guinness World Records of today. Even if the end times was mainly fighting and less running, then a large gas tank would be even more important, since fighting is way more tiring. How many miles can you run without getting tired? While you are here, definitely check out The Mad Monkey. This is a book written by a good friend of mine about the importance of violence in the growth of man. It will definitely change your perspective on violence and how it is applied in your daily life. Don't check it out if you're a softie. How resourceful am I? The men that need certain things to check the boxes in order to get something done will not survive a day in the apocalypse. Your survival is dependent on how resourceful you can be. What happens if you don't have modern-day mechanical tools to build shelter? What happens if you don't have any weapons in case the enemy attacks you? What happens if it gets cold and there's nowhere to buy a jacket? You need to be able to create these things on your own with what you have, whether that be leaves, dirt, sticks, animal bones from a recent hunt, kill a bear for its skin, make a fire. You get the point here. One of the greatest skills a man can do is being able to make something great out of a situation where you have very little. If you can do this, then your chances of surviving in those scary times will most definitely be higher. Finally, can I stay calm under pressure? Everything I talked about is meaningless if you stress out super quickly in bad situations to the point where you can't even think straight. I don't have much to say for this one. The strong man is not the one who can lift heavy things. The strong man is the one who remains stoic in all situations. In order to achieve this, though, you need to purposefully put yourself in as many uncomfortable situations as possible to train the stoic muscles of your mind and soul. That's it for me, men. Don't be that dude that sits there and watches another masculinity video after this. Put down the phone and start taking action. I see this too much in this space. This is nothing but mental masturbation. Take my advice, lest you become average. I'm out.